ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Friday Game Night Pickup Show here on AccessWDUN.com. As the usual, folks are in the house today. Jeff Hart, Caleb Hutchins. Actually, he's not in the house. He's in his house.
He's in a house.
I'm in the house.
Seth Chapman,
if that's what you mean.
and myself, Bo Wilson. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing?
Fair.
Jeff?
Every week it's the same question.
Yes, and every week you have the same answer.
I'm
week it's the same question.
I'm hurting today.
Yeah, are you?
I am.
Okay. How about you, Caleb?
I'm doing great. I just want to know how I did last week.
Well, the numbers are in, and Jeff actually won this week, which is very interesting because you know, he keeps the picks, so I think he is starting to make things up here.
He's Colonel Jessup doctoring the logbooks all the
yes.
time.
Are you questioning my integrity?
14-3 this week. That is very unlike you, Jeff.
I don't think we've ever stopped questioning your whatever you said that word was.
Wow.
Caleb, you gained another game on me, so I have a one-game lead over you now. 13-4.
So, would you like to question my voting now?
I was 12-5, and
scoring?
Seth was 11-6. But it's kind of
listen. I never questioned it. I was just, I'm just listening.
All I did is
balanced
he said we had to speed the show up today, so I just made a.
It's kind of amazing
I speeded
though,
it up.
that Jeff has been in the bottom every week until this week, last week.
Well, because I changed my strategy.
Okay, well let's move on with your strategy here today and look at week number 10 as we head into the final 3 weeks of the high school football regular season. And any surprises for you in week number 9, folks?
Surprises last week.
Nothing, Caleb?
Well,
I was surprised at how low scoring that Gainesville-South Forsyth ended up being. I thought, if anything, we might have a little bit of a shootout there. Gainesville's offense has really struggled here over the last 3 games, with the exception of the second half at Lambert. And then, just takeaways from last week. I don't know about other surprises, but just takeaways. Just heartbreak for Chestatee, man. You want to talk about just a gut-wrenching loss. And as gut-wrenching as the North Hall game was, that one even more so because of the potential playoff implications it has. Now, Chestatee can still get themselves back in this thing. They'll have a tough draw this week, but man, that losing that when you had a 7-point lead late in the game is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And yes, I will agree with you on the offense over at Gainesville. Just none there. Also over in Coal Mountain, none there for North Forsyth, and the loss to Lambert. And Lambert may be the team. Well, they are the team you don't want to play down the stretch because they are right there in the mix of things this year. That it's
right.
It's not a surprise really because Lambert started building last year, and now they're showing it this year in Region 6, 7A.
I don't know that I was overly surprised by anything, but I think that what I'm surprised is because of the way 6, 7A has kind of worked itself out. I mean, you've got Gainesville-West Forsyth this week. I mean, the loser may be out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, West Forsyth won the region last year. Gainesville was a couple of plays from perhaps winning the region, and now, I mean, they're basically, it's do or die. I mean, they're in playoff mode already for the last couple of 3 weeks in the season. Other than that, I think pretty much everything kind of went, I think, the way we kind of thought they would go for the most part. We did all pretty much kind of pick the Chestatee game, and that was we thought that was a game they could win. They should have won it. That was a tough one.
Game.
That was a tough
I do
one.
know where I picked up on a game on Bo, though, and it was taking South Forsyth. That was where I got the one game pickup on Bo there. So I think
true.
I was the only one who picked South Forsyth.
Right.
I'm not sure. I haven't
You
seen
were.
the.
No, he was.
Jeff's
He was the only
keeping
one.
that in his vault, so I can't see it. Anyway, let's move on to this
You
week.
can subpoena me if you like.
Let's move on to this week. Region 7 3A, as usual, is coming down to the big 3 in that region: Cherokee, Bluff, Dawson County, and North Hall. North Hall being off this week, meaning Dawson is traveling over to Cherokee Bluff. Somebody's going to have a region loss after this game. Let's go ahead and dive into it as we take a look at the Tigers and the Bears this week. Jeff, what say you?
I think this is going to be a great game. I really do. You got 2 classic styles. I mean, we know about Dawson. They love to throw it around. They have just about the state's leading receiver. He's leading 3A. He's in the top 5 in Bailey Dameron, and he's had a breakout year. and then you've got Bluff with they like to pound the ball with Jaquan Smith, and they got a couple other guys. Their defense, we're going to find out how good. This is the biggest test Bluff's had all year. They, look, you play who's on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule hasn't been all that difficult until now, and we'll find out. I think they lead 3A in scoring. They're number 2 in 3A in defense. Well, we're going to find out because they're catching the Tigers when they're hot. They are really hot. They're playing well defensively. They've kind of righted themselves. I remember we talked earlier in the year. They were really struggling defensively. I think in during a 4-game win streak, they're only allowing 14 points a game. So this is going to be a great matchup and a contrast to styles. So that's what I'm going to say. We'll just see kind of, will Bluff be able to control the ball, by pounding it and slow down that Dawson County offense if the Tigers are able to, to get some chunk plays. I mean, it was 28-27 last year. I think it's going to be close again. I really do. But, I am going to take.
I was about to say, do we have a pick in
we do.
amongst all that?
I'm going to take Cherokee Bluff because I do feel like that if they're. I do feel like
Bears.
The defense. I think the defense will make some stops. I think they'll shorten the game by being able to run the ball. So I'm gonna take Bluff, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm taking Cherokee Bluff too in a close one. Remember, by the way, Cherokee Bluff's defense was very much the star of that game last year because Dawson County had an interception return for a touchdown and a kick return for a touchdown that aided in getting those 27 points. Their offense didn't really do a whole lot against Cherokee Bluff's defense. Now, they are finding their rhythm at the right time. There's no doubt about that. But I think Cherokee Bluff is a little bit better, and I think it has a little bit more depth as well. I have a hard time seeing Dawson County stifling Cherokee Bluff's running game for 4 quarters, and I think Cherokee Bluff will do enough defensively against Zach Holt's claw to win this ball game. I think maybe a 7 to 10 point game, Cherokee Bluff winning this one.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Cherokee Bluff as well. I think the main thing that's going to, make the difference in this game, as we mentioned, both the defense, and I think we'll have to see a surprise from Irons in this game. For if Dawson County manages to shut down or even, just put a hold on that incredible run game that's been going on over there at Bluff, I think Irons will have to step up and make some it'll be him and the receivers having to make some plays and get the offense moving. If that's the big if of the scenario, is if Dawson County can put a hold on that run game. But I think Cherokee Bluff will push on through.
Honest mistake. Both start with C's.
CHs, as a matter of fact. We'll go. Actually, CH and E.
Cheer. Yeah.
Both of them start with CHE, so it's a honest slip of the tongue.
Uh-huh.
So Dawson County had the lead last year in this game at halftime, and Cherokee Bluff comes back to win it by a point. Jaquan Smith has been huge. Their offensive line's huge. They have been moving people.
How long until that joke gets old?
Yeah, I know.
How long?
Never.
Never.
Now, on the flip side, like Jeff said, this is going to be their toughest test of the season for them. And Dawson has to travel to Bluff. I think Jaquan Smith's going to have himself a night. The Bears win this one. Moving on into the Forsyth County area as Gainesville continues its tour de Forsyth as they are at West Forsyth this week. The Red Elephants trying to get back on track with their offense. Baxter Wright going down. Jeff, you were at the game on Friday. Baxter going down. Not sure about his playing status. Will he start? Is it a game-time decision at this moment? But this offense has got to find something against West Forsyth because West Forsyth, even though Strecco is out, their star running back, they still have.
Now, see, that's news to
Keegan
me.
Stover.
I didn't know he was out. He's 6th in Class 7A in rushing.
Yeah,
that makes a difference. I
very
think.
Interesting.
And I agree with you everything you said earlier about the Gainesville offense. I mean, they've got talent, they've got speed, they've got weapons. They're just right now they're kind of in a funk. They're just not putting it together. You can see flashes of it. We saw flashes of it last week, and then they'll go, 2 series in a row, 3 and out.
I think the key word there is consistency.
Yeah, they just haven't found that consistency. Baxter did go out, but he, it really, thankfully, it looked
Right.
worse than it was because it was kind of scary looking out there, carting him off of the field and everything. But apparently he was okay. He was released, later that night. It's my understanding, texting Heath Webb earlier this week that he should be good to go. So that will be a big key. This is another game. It's going to go down to the wire. I just kind of feel that. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go with the Wolverines because I just right now, they have really struggled stopping big offensive lines with the run game. Strako may be out, but they've got other guys. They've got the big line, and that has been Gainesville's Achilles heel on defense. So I'm going to go with the Wolverines. Could be another low-scoring game like last week. So, whoever gets the lead in that game is going to have a huge advantage.
Well, Gainesville's also got to stop the passing game for West Forsyth. The UGA commit Oscar Delp, he's a big player for them as far as offense goes at the tight end spot. Keegan Stover also playing well, right now. So even though West Forsyth losing, I think last week, was it to Lambert in overtime?
Yeah, I think so.
So, Lambert is that team, as we said earlier, that is making a play in Region 6, 7A. But it's down at West Forsyth. They're going to be pumped up. They're coming off a loss. Gainesville's coming off a loss. I just
Fighting for their playoff lives.
I don't feel the Red Elephant offense right now. I'm going with West Forsyth in this one, Caleb.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I don't, I think Baxter Wright will play, but I don't know that. I don't know what his status is. I didn't know about West Forsyth's running back either until just now. But none of that really matters because no matter who is starting at quarterback for Gainesville, they've got to start getting the ball in the end zone, just plain and simple. Whether they do it on the ground, through the air, whatever, they got to start doing it. And until they do, it's hard to see them getting a win, especially against what is a very good West Forsyth team. I'm taking West Forsyth too. I'm just kind of in, you hate to say it, but I'm kind of in believe it when I see it mode with this Gainesville team right now. I know they've got the weapons. I know they've got the ability to do it, but it's been a little bit since we've seen them do it. And, it's tough in this region. There are some good defenses, and this is another one they're playing this week.
The thing that I think was kind of noticeable last week is they really didn't take any shots downfield. And, that's where Baxter Wright and those speed receivers should be at their best. So, I don't know if they were having difficulty getting open. The South Forsyth was putting a rush on them, so that could have been something. But they've got to get the ball downfield. They really didn't even take many shots, Seth. I mean, you were there.
No, not really. Mostly it was trying to push through with that run game, and then Baxter Wright tucking it and running. And I think I'm right there with Caleb when it comes to this Gainesville team. I'm in believe it when I see it mode. I'm right there with you. So I'm going to have to go West Forsyth on this one.
Okay, so West Forsyth all around for everyone. All right, let's get to our rundown picks as we roll through the show today and take a look first at the Banks County at Riverside Military Academy game. What you got, Seth Rowe?
I have Banks County in that game.
Okay. I'm going to go with Banks County.
I'm going to go with Banks County also. Riverside hadn't played a game in almost a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Banks County too.
East Side at Jackson County. This is a crucial Region 8 5A matchup between these two teams. What you got, Jeffro?
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I tell you what, I think they are really feeling it right now. They had a week off. They've been kind of playing well, rolling. I think they've had a chance to prepare for East Side. This is a quarterfinal team from last year, East Side, and but I really like the way the Panthers are playing. I know I picked them before and they've kind of let me down, but I think they're in a different place right now. 6 teams tied for second place in that region. A win like this could be all you need to propel you to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a game that is important for them for sure. But if you look at down the stretch, their last 3 games in region play, this is by far the toughest opponent I think they will face in that stretch. East Side has been pretty good throughout the year. I am going to take East Side in a close one. I'm taking East Side by a field goal here. Jackson County has been close with every team they have played against this year. I think that will be the case again this week. I think East Side is just a little bit better than Jackson County, though, and I'm going to take them in a close one.
I'm going to go Jackson County in this one. I've seen them once, and I like the way they're playing.
Oh, Lord. Seth finished last week. Can I change my pick?
Ah.
I went
Okay,
there.
what happened to the one time where you picked the same as me and it ended up fine?
That was in the past.
That was in the past.
Seth, you're lonely down there without Jeff, aren't you, in the basement?
Just a little bit, I
Yeah,
guess.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just like my office, I'm lonely in there without anybody else in there, just staring at my computer. But I want to take this Jackson County team.
Jackson County's offense found something a couple of weeks ago.
They did.
And East Side, though, I'm going with East Side. That's all I've got on that one. East Side.
All right, we're split down the middle. We'll see how that one goes.
Elbert County at Rabun County. Rabun County wins this one.
Rabun.
Rabun, and Gunnar Stockton probably gets the all-time record for career touchdown passes in Georgia.
I think he will.
How many does he like?
I think it's like one or
he needs 3 to tie.
three to tie. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It was getting close.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Give him at least
Agreed.
6.
But Albert's better than they were last year. I mean, this is a team. I think they're in top.
They are
10.
better. Yeah.
Look, they're top 10 in AA in scoring. Yeah, but Rabun County leads the entire Southeast.
Okay. Gunner's going to get him at least 6. Okay, Flowery Branch traveling to Madison County. This is another big region game for both of these teams as they are tied for 4th with Madison County at this moment at 1-2, guys. Flowery Branch has to travel to Danielsville. Will that make a difference? I think Flowery Branch wins this one.
I talked to had a story out on this game talking to Ben Hall. This is we discussed getting that offense going a little bit. What can they do? I liked what Coach Hall had to say about getting ready and how they're just they don't worry about anything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about how big this is. A huge game.
Huge.
I mean, the loser of this game is in trouble. The loser of this game is in trouble.
Yeah.
The loser of this game has to win out.
Exactly. And, and Flowery Branch has an easier road than Madison County, who I believe still has to play Jefferson. So, you got to if Flowery Branch wins this, I'm not going to say it's a lock to get in the playoffs, but it's really, it's a huge game. I'm taking the Falcons. I like them to kind of, it looks like they righted it a little bit with 34 points against Cedar Shoals, which we kind of were looking at the game after how tough Cedar had played Jefferson the week before. So, I'm going to go with the Falcons, and I think this might be the kind of game based off of last week. They can kind of get things rolling here as we get toward the end of the season.
I'll go with the Falcons as well.
Yeah, how well their offense plays will determine whether or not they really get rolling with this. But I think regardless, they win this game. Chestatee held this team to 24 points. I think Flowery Branch's defense is better than Chestatee's defense at this stage, and so I think they will play a little bit better out there. And if they're holding Madison County to 14 points, I know Flowery Branch lost a game earlier this year where they held the team to 14 points. You really think that's going to happen again?
No.
I don't. I think Flowery Branch wins this game.
Franklin County at East Jackson.
Wait, Bo, you didn't pick that game.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I started the
Oh, you
picks.
did?
Yeah, he
Oh,
started
okay.
it with Flowery Branch.
Keep up, Caleb.
I picked the Falcons.
Oh, well.
Was he looking to pick up a game on you or something?
Franklin County at East Jackson here. This one's an interesting one.
This is a very interesting game. East Jackson's right. This is a game that, depending on how things fall at the end of the season, if the Eagles are able to win this, they could get into the playoffs. But I think they still have to play Stevens, which is going to be tough.
Well, Franklin County losers to Commerce last week, 30-0.
Right.
So, what say you?
Well, that Commerce team is. I'm going to go with the Eagles. They have played pretty well this season. I mean, they're in the toughest region in the state, just about any classification.
Oh, yeah.
When you got 3 teams ranked in the top 10, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I think this is a game they can win. They've been putting things together. I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
I'm taking East Jackson also.
East Jackson.
Same here. East
Wow.
Jackson. Greene County at Towns County. Towns County coming off the off week this week against Greene. I think Towns County wins in beautiful Hiawassee.
I agree.
I think so too. I think Kyle Oakes is going to have a big game in this one. I think you're going to see him have a big night, and I think Towns County could win this game comfortably.
I do too. I think they're going to roll, and Kyle Oakes is now second.
Roll.
He's second now, I believe, in Class A public because they were off last week, and he got overtaken by somebody. We'll know the official numbers when they come out.
Overtaken.
But yeah, I think they roll, and I think he's upset that somebody has taken his top spot. So I think he's going to run with a chip on his shoulder.
There you go. I agreed earlier.
No, you agreed early. See, I'm not listening either.
I know.
I imagine
You
that.
never listen to me.
What?
Habersham Central at Central Gwinnett.
Wow, another interesting game.
Another interesting game here. Who's got the most offense to roll on this one, Jeff?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I looked up some stuff on Central Gwinnett. They're not that good. Habersham is only marginally better. I mean, they're showing a rebuilding year, but I think the Raiders have enough to knock them off.
Yeah, this is the one team in the region I think you can definitively say Habersham Central is better than. I think they're going to win this game, and I think they will probably do so. I don't know about easily, but they'll win by at least a couple of touchdowns.
We'll go with the Raiders.
Yeah, Habersham Central also. Are they coming off an off week? No, they played. Who did they play last week? I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Yeah,
they played
lost
Lanier.
to Lanier
28-10.
That's right.
And
Lost to
28-10
Lanier.
was a respectable game.
Right, but they were up in that game at one point, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, Hab Central is Central Gwinnett. I'm going to go with the Raiders. Hopefully, they can get back on the win wagon. Jefferson at Chestatee, a tough one for Chestatee, by the way, against number one Jefferson. At least he's at home, right? So, I don't know if that's going to play into anything, but I'm going to pick Jefferson in this
Jefferson.
I'm going to pick Jefferson also.
Yeah, Jefferson, I know they've had some injury trouble, but a banged-up Jefferson team is better than a lot of teams in the state of Georgia. I think they win this game.
Johnson at Greenbrier. I'm going to
It's
go
a
with
long road trip.
Oh, my gosh. That is a long road trip.
A little bit of a homecoming, by the way, for William Harrell. He's, I say homecoming. It's not where he's from, but he spent a couple of years at Hephzibah.
Right.
And in the Augusta area, and Greenbrier's out that way. So a little bit of a return to some old stomping grounds for him.
Maybe you can pick up some guys while he's on the way down there because Johnson's still depleted. I mean, he's still building that program. It's still tough. So I'm going to take Greenbrier.
Yeah, I got Greenbrier, too.
Yeah, I got Greenbrier.
Greenbrier as well.
Lanier at Buford. I'm going with Buford.
Buford.
Wow.
Social Circle at Commerce. Commerce.
Jaden Daniels show. Going to keep on rolling.
Boy, how about that
The
freshman?
baby goat, as he calls himself.
I don't know that he calls himself
No,
that.
he does.
He does?
Yeah, go check the
No,
Twitter.
he does. He
Look, he's got almost nine.
He's got a T-shirt now.
He's got almost 900 yards in 4 games. I mean,
it was fun going to talk to him because,
I'm gonna tell
I kind
you,
of mentioned that. And I thought that's kind of like, he had the perfect attitude about it because I mentioned the numbers to him and he's just kind of like, no, I just got to keep going and get more.
he's less than 200 yards off the lead in Class A public.
And,
That's incredible in 4 games.
and he's chasing Monte Williams' freshman stat.
Yes.
And he's just 1,000 more yards.
Just 1,000?
Yeah,
Okay.
just 1,000.
I mean, with the pace he's on.
Yeah,
it's
with the
not
pace he's
that
on.
No,
I
bad.
mean,
look, you're right. If
the
they
math
go-
adds up at this point.
If they go a couple rounds into the playoffs or deeper, he has a shot.
He
as
has
long
a
as
shot.
as long as he stays healthy.
That's
that
right.
would be something. That
That would be interesting. West Hall at Gilmer.
I'll go first on this one. This one's very difficult because he's, the loser's out. They're eliminated. I'm gonna go with the Bobcats.
Why is it taking you so long?
Because it was so difficult because both teams are
the
really
sigh.
They're really stumbling. So I'm going to take Gilmer. I'm just because I think they're at home.
Caleb?
I am going to take West Hall to get off the snide this week and beat Gilmer.
I'm gonna echo Caleb on that one. I'm gonna go West Hall.
Well, here's what I hope. I hope West Hall wins this game, for one.
I do too.
Yes.
I do too. They need a win.
Because they need that win. Gilmer, they've struggled. We know that. I'm going to have to pick the Spartans. Don't let me down, Crofton and the Spartans.
What a shout out,
man!
Goodness!
Wow.
All right,
Bo?
here's another
Bo,
interesting.
your phone is ringing.
Yeah, here's another interesting one. White County at Lumpkin County. I'm going to select the Warriors. in this one.
Warriors.
I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm taking White County. I do think this game will be competitive, but Lumpkin County's playing for a potential playoff spot, which is something they haven't had this close in front of them in a number of years. I think this will be a kind of a scrappy ball game, but at the end of the day, I just don't know what Lumpkin County is going to do about Darius Cannon. And if they do something about him, what are they going to do about Silas Mulligan?
Well, that's it.
That's a 1-2 punch right there that's hard to deal with.
I think White County is going to put themselves by the end of the year. I don't think anybody is going to want to really play them, because if they start getting rolling, they got two great weapons, running, passing, in the return game. The defense is starting to come around. I'm going to tell you.
It's going to be key, though, for Lumpkin, Cooper Scott, quarterback, and his offensive line to stand up against that front line of White County.
They're going to have to control
size,
the game. They're going to have to control the game with the run game, no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Off this week, East Forsyth, East Hall, Lakeview Academy, Lanier Christian Academy, North Forsyth, North Hall, and Union County are all off this week. All right, guys, week number 10 starts tonight, the kickoff of it. What are you hoping to see? Quickly, Jeff.
Quickly. Well, I want to see, that Bluff-Dawson game. I want to see which one of these teams takes the kind of an early control and set up the last couple of weeks. I think that's going to be big. Also, Gainesville. I mean, can Gainesville get it together this week? I mean, they still have a chance to not just make a playoffs, but even get a home playoff spot. They still have Denmark. So Gainesville, I want to see what the Red Elephants have for them.
Caleb?
Yeah, the White County Lumpkin County game is one of the most interesting ones to me, but also Flowery Branch at Madison County. The turnout of that game will be interesting because Flowery Branch Chestatee could be a very important one next week, and they don't have a lot of common opponents yet. So I'm interested to see kind of how that plays out this week between Flowery Branch and Madison.
Seth?
I think can Dawson County put a speed bump in Cherokee Bluff's run game? And if so, can other elements, take over for Cherokee Bluff and win that game, which I picked them to win that game. But I think that's going to be the main contest there, like I said, if Dawson can slow down that run game. I'm interested to see how that Jackson County game plays out.
I was about to say the same thing about Jackson County over at 838 Eastside Jackson. Huge game for Jackson. Want to see how that one turns out. Dawson County Bluff, can Dawson's offense go against the defense, and will Bluff's offense just obliterate Dawson's defense? That's going to be interesting to see and what I would be watching. And also White County and Lumpkin County. That one could be interesting, although I do believe White County is going to handle it pretty easily. But that'll be an interesting score to watch throughout the night.
The Warriors have been so up and down.
Yes.
If they kind of revert back to early season form, that could be that could be a scary game.
Could be gruesome. Really could. Seriously. I mean, you've got athletes.
Halloween is
Silas
coming.
Mulligan and Darius Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
We know Darius can stretch the field and get the ball to him. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch on Friday night. All right, guys. What's on the tailgate show tonight? Caleb.
Going to preview that Cherokee Bluff-Dawson County game. Hopefully have Tim Whitmire from North Georgia Sports Link on to talk about that, and have a lot more stuff for you as well. So going to be another great night down at Smokehouse.
Dawson County at Bluff on FM 102.9. Your AM 550 game is Lanier at Buford. And, of course, AM 1240 at 94.5 The Lake, Gainesville at West Forsyth. You can check those out. Pick your game and enjoy your night, folks. For all the crew here, we hope you do enjoy week number 10 of high school football.